All right, my fellow agents, welcome back. It is I, X7, your agent of super action, and also the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters, as you can see right here on the screen. Right here on the screen. Today is Monday, that is Cartoon Series Monday. We're going to be doing the next 3 episodes of Superman, which I did not put on the title card here. Tempted to go back, but it is episodes 7 through 9, in which we do get to see Wonder Woman in her second semi-solo appearance ever. And we'll get into that. But before we do, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this show. Let me know what you think about Wonder Woman's appearance, because it's pretty good. It's the best episode in the whole bunch. Even if they had to make up a whole new villain like they keep doing, and both of them have a ton of villains. No Cheetah, no Brainiac. I mean, and they use the prankster. Well, they use the prankster. Be that as it may, and if you could watch a little longer than usual, that'd be great. It really helps the algorithm. So, are you ready? Up, and away into adventure.
Oh, gee, what was that?
It was frightening, wasn't it?
It was horror.
Hey, you know what, Colin?
What, Ryan?
That's what all the songs on this CD set are about. Horror.
Are you saying that every song on this CD album has to do with horror?
You bet I am. 800 songs on 300 CDs.
That's
All about horror.
Okay, and yes, this episode is all about horror. This is Bone Chill. This would be the 7th episode here, and it's pretty interesting. I don't know why they had to. What the heck? Well, it was episode 9 in its broadcast. It's episode 7 as presented here, or I missed something. We'll never know. But it was originally broadcast on November 12th, 1988, written by Larry DiTillo. And then, of course, the next one was written by the Clark. Little Clark was written by Sherry Wilkerson. So a bunch of kids there are in a bookstore owned by Chilton Bone. Good God. And he uses the medallion, the talisman of Olaf, to become Bone Chill, who has the ability to bring mummies and other horror monsters to life. As we'll see, there's Clinton himself. There's his Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon, that we've seen in Equinox twice, and of course the Night/Curse of the Demon once. It's been in Evil Dead movies. I don't know if we'll ever get around to them. I liked them, especially the third one. But oh no, they have a look of horror on their face, because he turns into Bone Chill and he's horrifying. And I'll try to contain myself here. Brings a mummy to life. He throws Clark, but somehow he zaps it. So apparently the standards for unliving creatures or make-believe creatures are a little less. So we get some thrown around here. They grab Lois and Jimmy, of course. Hostage. They should really have just formed a syndicate and said, we're professional hostages. Come get us. But Superman rescues him for some reason and gets walloped by a mummy. That must be the Christopher Lee mummy. But, he turns into a puff of smoke. They find Clark hiding in the sarcophagus. Lois berates him. But old Chilton here has got his medallion. It's not even the 70s when big, ugly gold medallions were in. The only real medallion to wear is is from the prince who wears that medallion on his chest. It's the Harvest Moon, so there you go. And apparently they're sponsors or they're chaperones or something. Bone Chill shows up, brings the Grim Reaper. Well, it's some sort of minion to life, and they're out to grab the girls because he's mad at them. I just like the face here. This show is really good, and it's just if they could have done more than super breath, they needed more action like they did in the '90s and we will get to that. It's only 18 episodes, so I really like that show, and not only brought the Frankenstein creature and a werewolf to life, but yep, and he punched Junior because I call all Frankenstein creatures Junior. Thank you, Chip or Chick. Chick. No, it was Lou. And for some reason, Bone Chill's still happy. And now they're bowling. The ball. He's going to be the ball. And the blob shows up. I mean, really, it's what else is it going to be? And he freezes it, so it's the blob. But it can't eat Superman because he's charged with solar energy, I guess. That's an interesting thought. Superman versus the blob. Now again, he could just free that would be one time his super breath would come into play where he could just freeze the dang thing. It looks like the 1988 Blob movie where it turned into a giant wad of pink bubblegum. I mean, it had me until it got huge, and I know it was stop motion, and they did some homages to Harryhausen, but and also the government conspiracy. Jimmy's about to get zonked. Well, look what he brought to life. I don't even know what this is. Probably something from the Elder Gods. Thulu. They're chaperoning. Lois gets a call and gets grabbed by the the Mantis. Now, if you've seen what's that movie with John Goodman, Matinee? There you go. It's Mant. Like 3 or 5 years before Mant, he saves Perry from the telltale. No, the pit and the pendulum. Another mummy bites the dust, and he's going to get all of his power from the harvest moon and brings all of these critters to life. I mean, I can't even identify all of them. But unfortunately, super tornado, off they fly. He loses the medallion. Crunch. So you do see some super strength here. All right, and now we're there with Clark is learning to drive. How did I miss the title for that? Well, I must have. And he's not doing very well. And of course, Jonathan is saying, don't use your powers. Smallville has a pretty modern Department of Motor Vehicles, though very small, obviously. But it looks pretty good. The backgrounds here are really well done, as is all the art. I mean, again, it's just shy of being truly great. So Clark goes in there, he passes his written test. I'm not sure if he goes the driving one but he got his permit at least. All right, so that is the end of this episode. And now we're going to go into The Hunter, which again is, episode 7, or episode 8 now for us.
We'll be right back for another exciting adventure with Superman.
All right, so the Kents are visiting Clark in Metropolis, and this is written by Karen Wilson and Chris Webber, debuted October 29th, 1988. Really? Let's find out what's going on here. Clark flies off because, look, it's Ursa, it's General Zod and Ursa and Faura. I don't know how to say that. Faura? Yeah, she's first appeared in Action Comics number 471. So, yeah. She must be the one in purple and green, and then Ursa. Well, as we know, Ursa, she is from the Superman, excellent Superman 2. Anyway, they're watching Clark, blah, 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 Phantom Zone. They conjure up the Hunter, not the faceless Hunter, as you see in the wonderful Brave and the Bold, but the Hunter. See, he's got a face. He can transform into any material at all. So just guess what he's going to turn into. And we see bunches of things. He can turn into. He's like the Super Adeptoid, or a Mazo, or Crusher Creel, the Absorbing Man. That sort of thing. I did like in the Avengers, uh, uh, more recent Avengers series, where when the Absorbing Man, Crusher Creel, turned into Uru, not realizing that Thor had control over it because it's part of his hammer. That was a good one because it had the enchantment on the hammer. So I enjoyed that. Anyway, the hunter grabs Lois, grabs Superman, throws him. So they did kind of kick up the action content a bit here. He throws Lois off and he catches her neatly, trisecting her into three painful sections. Thank you, Sheldon. Should have had that clip. I don't know what that is supposed to be, but he's still fighting. Once again, Soups takes a beating, but it's not going to hurt him. And it looks like he turns into the Glob here, and he's supposed to. Oh, guess what he gets from Luthor, the Kryptonite. So now he's Kryptonite. And you can always tell. I mean, at least in the cartoon, Kryptonite poisoning is very obvious. Superman dead. Zod's all excited. And now the hunter doesn't have anything to do, but he doesn't really go that way. They have a funeral. But Superman shows up. He's alive. It's the Phantom Zone projector. We know where this is going. Because he's supposed to release Zod and his two female minions. But I don't know if he's prepared to. What's going on there? But Soups obviously uses the Phantom Zone projector and zaps the hunter back. He just destroys the hunter. And everybody goes back to the Phantom Zone. Super easy. Superman extra. They don't even say it's from the Daily Bugle. See, there's little things like that they could have done, just pushing it over the top. This is a good episode too. I quite enjoyed it. Saying goodbye to the family, and then we go to the little runaway. Oh, so you can definitely tell that these are out of order. There's little Clark, and he's having to do chores around the farm, and Jonathan once again wants him to know what he's supposed to be human first, and then he can use his powers when he needs to. But he runs away, and the dog grabs dog grabs his lunch and gives it to a hobo who doesn't have any food. Clark sees everyone. It's the whole, oh yeah, I'm really better off with my family. Blah, blah, blah. And he runs home and he gives Martha a hug and he eats. And he eats because he's got a super appetite, don't you know? And we have the closing of the book there. Once again, written by Sherry Wilkerson. Sentimental schmaltz. It's just that, yeah. It's fun, but it's very obvious what's going to happen the whole time. Okay, and now our penultimate episode.
This is your grandfather, Arthur Boy, back from the cold, dark grave.
But you're dead.
I just said back from the cold, dark grave. Try to pay attention, okay? I'm sorry. I've come here.
Wait a minute. This isn't going to be another one of those Charles Dickens Christmas Carol things, is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
What?
Well, we had a bit of technical difficulties on my end. That's on me. So, this is our 9th episode today. Was really the 8th episode, but something got screwed up there. I believe it was me. Superman and Wonder Woman versus the Sorceress of Time, marking only the second time Wonder Woman has appeared by herself. Well, with Superman, the first time she appeared by herself was in an episode of the Brady Kids, and Superman appeared there as well as the Lone Ranger. And then the second time, this is it. Everything else was with Super Friends, and she wouldn't even get an animated movie of her own until 2009 or 2010, something like that. Anyway, which boggles the mind. Wonder Girl made her appearance, 5 years before Wonder Woman. Anyway, this is probably my favorite episode of the batch. There's Themyscira Island, and that's where Superman's flying off to some emergency. Queen Hippolyta is transferring power to take care of this sorceress Cyrene to make sure she stays in suspended animation. Otherwise, she could ruin the world. I don't know exactly what Superman's fighting here. Some kind of bug thing, right? There's always a bug thing because it's easy to do and it's, not people. But let's see. Oh, he's stopping a meteor. Oh, actually, that might have been from another one. Jeez. A piece of so when he's Superman stopping the meteor. See, this is all from another episode. Superman stops a meteor. Jimmy's, yeah, that's the meteor. When that happens, it falls down onto Themyscira. We gotta get rid of some of these other things. I am sorry about this. And it opens up. It frees the sorcerer of Cyrene, who can transport mythological creatures to the present. And so she zaps one of the Amazons, and Diana springs into action. And get all that. And while she's headed out to get help, Cyrene takes over, turns the Amazons into little gnome-like creatures, and I think she just freezes Hippolyta. And there's her little servant, and I don't remember what his name was, but he's pretty funny. Um, and they lock him in there, and off they go. So Superman's bringing Lois back from something, to get a scoop, and Diana shows up, and Lois is not happy about this because, I mean, she's Wonder Woman. But as much, and a lot of times they will put that into, Superman or Clark and Diana, how Cal and Diana, as she calls them, will have a relationship, see the excellent kingdom come. But I prefer Diana and Bruce because who's going to say no to Diana? Not even Batman can see. She's pissed. They fight some griffins that, or maybe if those are males, they're Keithongs. There you go, Tamakaze. And the Super Puff goes out, but he catches one. Unfortunately, they don't get rid of the final one who's spying for Cyrene. She shows up in Metropolis with her little troll guy. Troll guy shows up at the Daily Planet. And they're really good friends here, which is, I think, more like brother and sister because they're so similar in powers. But, and it's just, so there's a Cyclops, and the troll gets thrown into the Cyclops. Bear hug. She stopped. Oh, she reflects his heat ray from her bracelets, Amazonium, if you want to go back to Linda Carter. Diana this is the best she's looked in animation ever. I mean, ever. And well, until this point, that is. So they have to zap the medallion on the chest. There's medallions again to make the creatures go back to their time frame. She's a really powerful sorceress. I mean, and Superman's vulnerable to magic. And it doesn't mean that somebody can cast magic missile and kill him. But if they do cast magic missile, it might hurt him because they won't be attacking the darkness. And points to anyone who can tell me what that's from. And so this is a pretty action-packed episode, which is one of the good things about it. Because again, Cyrene conjures a Minotaur who's gigantic. And they manage to defeat him. He gets thrown through a wall, and this poor woman just tells her husband, and Zappy and he goes back, but they're gonna make Wonder Woman take her place, really. But unfortunately, everything goes south for Cyrene here, thanks to Superman. And they're turning into dust, but they capture her, and she's treated her little buddy pretty poorly. Cyrene has, and he turns on her a little bit and gets her sealed back in there. Everything goes back to normal. They seal her back in the obelisk of time, or whatever that happens to be. And everyone comes back, I would assume. So everyone's happy. Clark flies off, says, I'll see you again, probably at the next Justice League meeting. And everybody but Lois is happy. And if Lois is unhappy, that makes me unhappy. That makes me happy. So we're going to the birthday party. So this is out of order a bit because Clark's younger than he was learning to drive. And but he's old enough to start getting socks. And in the Justice League, the Justice League, when they did their Christmas episode with when the Martian Manhunter John Jones shows up, they said that they used to have to line his presents with lead so he couldn't cheat. But naturally, they had one dork kid. He lights it up. There's Lana, and Lana finally with her little red head, playing pin the tail on the donkey. This guy's trying to trick everyone. Like since Clark has, uses X-ray vision, he gets sprayed, but then everyone's happy. Lana sprays Clark. Everyone's having a great time. Super fun. Yay! Birthday party is a big success. All right, my fellow agents, that is our 3 episodes of Superman for today. Tomorrow we will be reviewing the 1962 television film. It's only 52 minutes long. Mr. Magoo's Terrifying Christmas Carol. Although watching it this time, I remember things that were not in there. So go figure. That's just the way memories can be. But I am X7, and until our next assignment, I am signing off and phasing out.
Christmas to you, sir.
Christmas! Ha! Ha! Humbug!
We haven't had a hen since I can't tell you when.
It's Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, Sunday at 12:30 on 11 Alive.